about tight jackets. We know a thing about tight.
We know a thing or two about tight jackets. This is what, an extra large?
Extra large, and it barely goes down half your top or whatever.
It's not the one. It's not the one. We are about to go live with our next guest, who I'm going to keep a mystery until we go straight live.
Amazing.
With them. Let's jump in.
Joining in now. Here we go. And we're switching over to. Here we go. Hello.
Hopefully, it's the man himself, the Bristol bot builder before Bristol bot builders were a thing, who now is not a bot builder.
Hello.
Craig Danby.
Hello, Craig.
How's it going, boys?
It's going good. How are you?
Hot. Maybe turn my fan off and it's hot.
We're very apologetic.
Yeah, we had our mild heat wave of the high 20s, and I hear you're in the 40s or something. Is that right?
And it's a fairly normal day.
It's a pretty cold day.
Amazing.
Jesus Christ.
So I just wanted to I've not met you before, Craig. Hello, Craig. I'm confused.
Hey, man.
Hello, Craig, all the time.
I hear you're the guy with crabs.
Yeah, I've got there's some down there. So anyway, I live in Bristol. I hear you're from Bristol.
Yeah.
Why'd you ditch us, man?
I'm really sorry, but I met this kind of pretty wonderful person. She lived in America, and 4 years of long distance was long enough. So
I was going to say, was it a Foxtrot? But
it was not. I did not leave the UK for Foxtrot. That piece of shit is under the table. Hang on. Under the table where it belongs. Look.
So my first question for you, proper question here, is I think you are, I like to say Alex Shakespeare has built the most outweights. I think, in my knowledge, you're the person who's built the most heavyweights, or at least to my count, that I know of. So why have you built so many goddamn heavyweights, Craig?
They're just so much more fun to build than ant weight. I'll glue my fingers together building an ant weight, but with these bad boys, I mean, I can stand and weld, and I've got a fairly decent little welding and grinding section, so it's just a lot more fun than than ant weight. Plus, when you smash a heavyweight into another heavyweight, they can hear it 3 streets away. So
there's something primal about it.
Yes,
it's something very primal about it. It's like starting up a V8 engine. You can hear it for miles. Whereas, like when Slammow suplexed Predator, I had neighbours come around and go, "What was that?"
So I want to say, in the off-season that we'll call the times we're in, you've had a lot of success. You've got this big team sponsor now, and of course you've also been viral on TikTok. Can you tell us about your recent successes in the more marketing end of the robot combat scene?
Well, I'm on TikTok because the sponsor insisted. I had no idea what it was. I installed it and I was like, cool, this is just kids dancing. I was like, what the hell am I going to do?
You're quite known for your dancing as well, aren't you?
Well, I mean, I get the odd shimmy now and then, but so I just started uploading testing videos, and then I found an old lawnmower at work and I decided to beat the shit out of it, and that I think we're just over 5 million views on that now. The channel, the channel itself, my TikTok channel analytics they surpass all of my other social media like 10 times. I get something like 1 hour and 30 minutes of watch time a week right now, which is more than I could get being on BattleBot. So
and that's like a 10-second video as well, isn't it? So that's some.
Yeah, I think the longest video I've got on there is 34 seconds.
Yeah. Welcome to the new generation, eh?
People with tiny attention spans.
Except here we've got people engaging from 10 a.m. this morning, so they've been here for 7 hours now. And they're still here.
Yeah.
So this
because nerds have got nothing better to do.
That's it. So, welcome to RoboNerd.
That's what it is. So, to be fair, I'm exactly where I would be if I wasn't on the phone with you now.
That's a fair point. Mr. Danby, can you show us your stuff?
Yeah, give us a tour. Give us a garage tour.
All right, okay. So, this is my hot working area, the welder, the plasma cutter. It's all generator driven, that's down there on my welding table. Tools and dirty bench full of crap. And then I do most of my assembly on fold out benches, which are here. I've got, you ain't seen that, right? But that's one of my special setups for BattleBots for Slammow.
Is that
that's a hammer bot that I'm building for my YouTube series because I'm bored of not fighting robots. So I'm going to do a YouTube series called Backyard Bots, which is me fighting my robots in my backyard.
Amazing.
That's another one for it. That's an upturned wok.
I was going to say, that looks kind of blendo.
That's a big wok.
It's a 30-inch wok. It's incredible. And then there's Predator. Wedgie boy, big wedgie boy, spare for Slammow. But this is not a hidden arm one. This is a completely flat one. Hyena with Foxic Mark 3.5 on top, all hydraulic now. And my challenge bot I did, which I still haven't finished editing.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, the gym equipment stuff. It's fought Slammow, and I haven't posted the.
And did it beat Slammow? That's the question.
Did not. One thing it did do is it did everything that everybody said it would do, and that the disc kind of exploded. So I'm glad I've made some polycarbonate screens for me to be behind. So yeah, that was good fun. 3D printing, charging station. That's it, really.
That's
everything
impressive.
else I get ordered in. Oh, and Lambo Sheen.
Oh yes, yeah. Obviously, been very popular recently with that thing.
And then Little Foxy.
So that's your featherweight, though, is it? It looks.
Yeah, I think I called that Fennec.
Okay.
Yeah.
And these
Cool.
bigger ears, though.
And so I wanted to ask you. I think you're probably one of the brushless enthusiasts in general, but you've gone quite brushed with the new Slammow, haven't you? You're kind of gone the more sort of old school build style.
Yeah. I mean,
about why?
2017, we went brushless on Foxic, and it started winning fights. So I was like, yeah, brushless, I'm sold. And then somebody said, no, don't bother with brushless, go back to brushed. So in 2017, I put brushless motors in. They worked great. I took them back out and I put these Vex Victor BBs, these $500 fucking controllers in. And I bought 5 of them.
Damn.
And they melted the motors in Foxic. So that happened every single event we took it to, and it stopped winning fights. So I went back to brushless, and then I went to a new brushless system in Russia, and it won a bunch of fights in Russia. I was like, this is great. Changed it again when I came back, and then it didn't work at all.
So maybe different countries have better results with the various
possibly
brush
the climate.
So tell me about Russia. I didn't know you did Russia. What sort of stuff was that? Was that a live scene over in Russia?
Yeah, we did Bronibot, and we went to the Moscow Olympic Stadium, and there was 20,000 people in the corner of the Olympic Stadium, and then just rolling out with my orange Fox robot that made me look like a complete fucking weirdo, but whatever.
Yeah.
It's about this big. I mean, it's literally. Yeah, no, I'll do Craig to scale. It's literally this big.
That looks like a featherweight to me.
Tiny heavyweights.
And so that must mean there's a reasonable scene in Russia, at least an interest there if you're getting big crowds.
There's certainly an interest. We had the Minister of Agriculture in the audience.
Of course.
And we were sat in the bar afterwards, and the Minister of Agriculture was on TV, and then it cut away to a Bronibot that was happening. And there I was just walking past the camera in the background. It's like, I'm on TV in Russia. Amazing.
But, and he's going to get you to build some tractors for Russia at some point then?
Probably. Remote control tractors to bring in all those. But the Slammow went back to brushed because we had so many issues with, on the electronic side of it, the actual drive system that Foxtrot had at BattleBots last year, it was actually bulletproof. We didn't have the drive motor go down, we didn't lose the speed controller, but the other side of it was the low voltage side couldn't handle the back EMF that it was generating.
I see.
So that was it. It was killing itself. So we blew a battery eliminator in almost every single fight. And so...
Damn.
Well,
so now the thing I've noticed with this season, obviously you've had extra time now, but you were early and running it in Florida last year.
It was ready,
and it was working, and it's been super reliable, right? It's been looking really good from what I've seen.
So I've done a lot more reliability testing. So what I have been doing, I did some videos of it where I drove Slammow off the loading dock at work, which is about a 4-foot one. And it was surviving just fine. And every time it broke, I'd fix it and find out why it broke and stuff like that. So I've done 20 drops and it hasn't had any failures. So I was like, right, that's the good thing. Right, next one. So the next thing I do is I borrow a work truck for lunchtime and I have my work colleague drive it around the building at about 25 mile an hour, and I push the robot off the back, just to see if it breaks, and if it breaks, keep fixing
That's
it.
a really cool way of battle hardening when you've not got other robots to smash into at the moment.
Exactly. So throwing it off a moving truck has been quite fun. The videos for that are pretty hilarious, particularly the one where it lands on a pallet and the pallet jumps up into the truck with me. So
is this something we're going to get to see on YouTube, or is this too saucy for YouTube?
That one I probably won't put on, because I get a lot of people go, "Oh, safety," and it was the time I drove Slammow off, and Slammow hit the corner of a pallet and it pinged off and it flew into the truck as I was riding along. It's like,
Fair enough. Do we have any questions from the comments?
Let's
Craig?
jump in with some quick fire questions for yourself.
All right.
First off, one from our good friend Nicholas Cole. What is the one robot that you look back on the fondest? Had a long and varied career. Tanto.
I knew it'd be.
I had a feeling. Which one?
E-Tech-driven Tanto.
Okay.
Probably Mark III, which was the one with the titanium forks.
Yeah.
It would never have been competitive in a full combat environment, but it was a lot of fun to drive. So it would break arena walls, and it was fantastic.
That sounds so good.
Glorious.
All the power. What else we got?
Let's have a look. I was not prepared.
Sorry, I put Craig on the spot.
Put me
here.
on the spot.
Both Craigs on the spot. I love it.
Oh.
So apart from heavyweights, how are you feeling about smaller robots at the moment? So I see you've been testing out some hoverboard wheels, which I also similarly have done. How are you finding those?
They're all right. They're okay. I've got the geared ones, which are a bit slower than the ungeared ones, but you get a lot more torque. So they're okay. I've also been trying to refine Sir Clips, which is actually the bot that preceded Slammow. But yeah, that one's now in its 7th iteration. That works kind of nicely. I've got all FingerTech controllers in it, and it's probably the most expensive ant weight I've ever built.
It's a really nice build, though. I was trying to work out how you crammed everything in there, because it just looks like
I hammer the motors in. I literally hammer the motors in. Got a little nylon. Have I got it here? I've got a little nylon-ended hammer that I literally tap the motors in with. Because otherwise you can't get them in.
We've got a really good question here from Jimmy. Did I hear that there is a version of Foxic heading to the UK? I saw you mention that. How's that working out? Are you sending it over to Chris?
So there's Foxic 1, 2, and 3. Foxtrot would have been Foxic 4. But Foxic 1 was the one that went to RoboGames, didn't really work, and then it came back to the UK, and Rory had it for a little while and he ran it as Big Bully. And now we've got it back, and we've spent a bit of time sort of rejigging it and getting it ready to fight again. So that version of Foxic will fight him, but that's kind of a hybrid. It's kind of like, it's got Foxic 3's arm, which is going to be hydraulic like current Foxic.
So a bit of a test bed for the hydraulic stuff in the live scene?
Kind of, yeah. Yeah, we found a really cheap, small, lightweight, but fairly powerful hydraulic system, which comes out of a Mini Cooper's folding roof.
Oh right, okay, cool.
So it weighs less than 2 kilos, and
oh wow,
it'll move about 1.5 tons, so it's fairly reasonable.
This sounds like the dream.
To look forward to in the UK scene, guys.
So yeah, is that Robots Live, Extreme Robots sort of thing? Hopefully.
It's not a full combat thing. It's definitely not built for that, but it can get thrown around with the flippers and
sweet.
People like that.
We'll take it on, right, Craig?
Yeah, we'll
if we get Flamingo back in from the junkyard.
There are 3 Slammows.
Okay.
There's there's one that's on display at Mobot, and there's one that is getting retrofitted for the flame system.
Very nice.
And one of them, after filming, when it finally happened, is going to go back to the UK with Chris. So there's going to be a Slammow fighting on the live scene in the UK at some point as well.
This is really nice to hear. You guys are spicing up the live heavyweight scene, because we get a bit sick of just being, shout out to all the flipper wedge bots here, bringing in our own shitting on here.
I've always hated that. I've never once. I've had times where I've thought about just building one, but I've never ever followed through with it. And I just can't build what everybody else is building, so I always tend to try and do something
it's
different.
Just, it's my only complaint with the heavyweights in the UK is the diversity is not there like it is in the other weight classes, and so you guys bringing a couple more bots in is big up from us. Right. We're going to head off to our next
question
thing, but we've got
the last one sentence question that I am making a habit of asking. If you have one sentence, one piece of advice to give to aspiring builders, go.
Don't trim your pews with scissors, you're asking for trouble.
Gotcha. Thank you, Craig.
Amazing advice, Craig. We'll see you then. Thanks for tuning in and thanks for hanging out with us.
Take care. We'll see you soon.
Much love. And come back to Bristol, yeah? All right.
Come back.
One day.
One day. Bye.
Amazing stuff from Mr. Danby there. It's great to speak to him again. We're going to move on now to our next interview, which is the next